I'd love to introduce you to one of our Campos employees, Renee. She's been with us about 2 years. She started in the tasting room. She's now our private events manager here at the winery. And we learned early on that Renee's son, Jax, was diagnosed with autism. And as you all know, autism is very near and dear to our heart. Our granddaughter Gigi was diagnosed at a young age, and we have Gigi's Blend, and it is Autism Awareness Month. And we just felt as a family here at Campos, Renee is part of the family, that we wanted her to share her story about her son and her journey, and we wanted to share that with you. So Renee, just tell us a little bit about your life and what's gone on and when Jack was diagnosed and what that's been like for you.
So Jax was diagnosed when he was 3 years old at his well checkup appointment. And, I had heard the word autism, but I knew nothing about it. I didn't know what to look for, the signs. So when the doctor had mentioned autism to me, it was like a complete shock. And, we went through the motions and got him tested with a developmental pediatrician, and he was in fact diagnosed at just over 3 years old.
And your son is nonverbal.
Right.
How has that impacted your family?
So he's considered nonverbal. He's not mute because he will say words. He will say words when he's prompted to say words, but he's never spontaneously had language. And it's very difficult, having a son. I have a son who's 15 and in high school, and as a mom, I realized after Jack's diagnosis and all the hardships that we've had to go through, how much I took for granted as a mom. Just so many little things that I took for granted. And one of the biggest things was hearing my son's voice. As a family and as a mom, one of the hardest things is finding support, and you almost, at some point, you stop getting the invites to the birthday parties and to the outings and stuff because, sometimes it's hard. And I think it's easy to just feel like you're kind of on an island all by yourself. And for me, I wasn't the most comfortable talking about it, and even I'm still not. But I will have to say, when I started working here at Campos Family Vineyards, I felt comfortable. When I found out about what they did for Gigi's and all the other give back wines, I just felt comfortable. I felt accepted, and I felt like I could talk about my son and his diagnosis, and I was just in a comfortable place working here.
So as you know, part of our give back with Gigi's Blend is we support the Temple Grandin Eustacia Cutler Autism Fund. And, we're raising awareness 12 months a year with this. April is really Autism Awareness Month, but really here at Campos, it's all the time. So Renee, how has that helped your family, or has it? And were you ever aware of Temple Grandin before you came here?
I was aware of Temple Grandin. I had done some research. I mean, when my son was first diagnosed, I did so much research and just dove right into it. But Temple Grandin was one of the she's a big name in the autism community. And so watching her videos, it opened up my mind to kind of how my son's mind might function. I'm not fully aware what exactly goes on in that little brain of his, but she definitely helped to try and just give me some awareness to how, his daily life is and how his brain works and what he might be thinking, even though he can't say it, what he's thinking. And so it's been really helpful, and her words have just been tremendous in our family. Once you get that diagnosis, it's a tough pill to swallow, and I think you go through these different stages of denial, you go through a stage of grief, you go through a stage of acceptance, and I think acceptance is the most important thing. And once I, as a mom, was able to accept the fact that, life was going to be different for Jax and for me as well, and my entire family, once I decided to fully accept it, it changed my life. And I've been able to really connect with Jax in a way that I never thought I could. I tell you what, I can look at that little boy and I know exactly what he needs. I know exactly what he wants. We have definitely connected.
I love that you know, in the midst of the difficultness, I sense your heart connection with your son. Of course, we're connected with our children, but even more so because your son can't verbalize. You just innately know what he needs. And so
I will say that it's something that is very hard. It's hard on our family. It's hard on me. It's hard on Jax. And I think the most important thing for me was that I took a step into his life. I'm not, I think a lot of times they're expecting kids on the spectrum to learn how to live and function in our world and the normal, typical world. But I don't necessarily think that that's the best idea, only because I think that we need to learn their world as well. Some good resources for me have been going through our insurance. They've kind of helped us go through the steps of getting him into ABA therapy, into speech and occupational therapy, but a huge resource was the Brentwood School District. They have been absolutely wonderful. They have helped Jax throughout, starting with preschool up through now he's in 3rd grade. And so we've been really fortunate with how well that they've treated Jax and just helped him flourish.
you realize, Renee, you have so much in you that you've probably not felt comfortable sharing.
Right.
But in the right environment, in the safe environment, you can let it all out.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people.
It's just hard because most people don't understand. They just don't understand. They don't, So when I say, oh, my son's going to be 9 years old and he doesn't talk. Oh, what do you mean he doesn't talk? Oh, if I can get him to talk. Or, he doesn't feed himself. He doesn't bathe himself. He's not potty trained. So it's like, it's a whole different, level. And I think, just like I said, people just assume autism is, they're just geniuses and they're going to be, rocket scientists and stuff like that. And so that's where it's difficult, and it's hard to find someone who, kind of understands.
Well, step into your world and look at it from your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I appreciate. You have all that going on at home.
Yeah.
But you come here and we would never know. And you do amazing events and you relate to the community. So, it gives hope to families that feel like their life is hopeless. Their life really is not hopeless because you have found the joy in what you're doing with your son.
Yeah. And I think it's all about accepting it, once he's actually fully accepted, and then whatever will be. What will come of him. If he never talks, that's okay. If he never moves out of my house, that's okay. I'm okay with that, because it's taught me that there's just like a love that I didn't even know existed.
Wow.
So
amazing. Yeah. There's always a gift.
Yeah, exactly. You have to look at the positive of something,
That's right.
As hard as it can be, there's something positive out of it.
That's right. Yeah. I love the fact that when you're in the tasting room and you're pouring Gigi for people, that you now can tell the story of your son.
Yeah.
So for so long, this has really been about Gigi and Gigi's blend, and now we have Jax. And we have hundreds of other people in this community that really Gigi's Blend is representing. I love that the autism community knows that we're doing this. And like you said, Renee, acceptance for what autism is. So we would invite you to come and share your story. Come to the tasting room, come and have a glass of wine, come and enjoy Gigi's Blend, and talk about your Gigi or your Jax in your family, and share that with us, because as you know, Gigi's Blend will be a staple here at Campos. We will always give back to the Temple Grandin Fund. And we are proud to say we've probably been able to give over $20,000, and that's because of people like you in this community. We're so grateful for the Brentwood School District that has so helped Jax. And so we're looking forward to seeing you in the tasting room, and we're looking forward to sharing a glass of Gigi's with you and your family.